Okay, so now we're on to chapter 2 in this book. Hold on, it's upside down. It's the WWE Championship. A look back at the rich history of the WWE Championship. We're on that book now. We're on chapter 2. Before I start reading again, let me do some plugs. Up here, you can check out the Massasoit Wrestling Corner playlist and all the content on that playlist. It's a lot of fun to watch. I had a lot of fun doing it last semester, and it's coming back again this semester, this Friday, this Friday, September 11th, 2015, and it's going to be a lot of fun, and we're doing it at 2 o'clock. We either are going to do it off of Google Hangout or just a regular webcam. We're going to have to wait and see. This Friday, September 11th, 2015, 2 o'clock. Check out the Massasoit Wrestling Corner. And obviously, if you don't get to see it live, you can always go back and watch it, whether it's off a Hangout or not. So this Friday, September 11th, 2015, the Massasoit Wrestling Corner will be coming back. And I hope you guys check it out. I want to make sure, guys, that you check out another person that also does this show with me. The second of 3 hosts. It's me, James, and my friend Ori also hosted. But check out James, the Heatman Hebert's 2 YouTube channels. One's down below. It's called James Hebert. He makes custom Titantrons of professional wrestlers, and I hope you guys check him out. You can click over here to check out his Whammy Tooth Wrestling channel, where he's having a 32-man tournament to crown the very first ever WYW champion champion. And I'm one of those 32 competitors in that tournament, and I am going to win the whole thing and become the very first ever WYW champion. And you can click right over here to check out my Owen the Talkinator channel, where I talk about non-wrestling things. And somewhere here you can check out my CM Brothers channel, where I talk about both wrestling and non-wrestling topics. Now that I've gotten all the plugs out of the way, let's get right into this book. So let me just go right to the chapter that I'm on. Okay, so I'm on chapter 2, and it shows a picture on the left side of Buddy Rogers holding a title. Now, I'm not going to tell you, when you see these pictures, I'm not really going to tell you much information about them, because I don't want to spoil the book. So, you know, I'm not going to do any spoilers. So, I'm not going to say anything, you know, that happened. So, Buddy Rogers is right there, though. And this chapter is called The Breakaway, and you're going to find out why as I read this chapter. And by the way, if you're watching this for the first time and you haven't watched a read aloud for me, I suggest actually you click on the playlists right up here, because then you won't know what the fuck's going on. So check out the playlist right up here to check out all of the playlists for the history of the WWE Championship. So let's get right into it. Well, NWA like I said, just check it out so you know, by the way. While NWA promoters celebrated Buddy Rogers' loss, Vincent J. McMahon and Toots Mondt were busy planning their next move. Their first course of action was to protest the way in which the Nature Boy lost the title. At the same time, it was commonplace for all championship matches to be contested under 2 out of 3 fall rules. Now, before I continue, there you can see there's a match going on between Bruno Sammartino and Buddy Rogers. They're going to find out why that match is happening as I continue to read this. I just figured I'd show you that picture. And that's actually, and then it says, Rogers' loss, however, occurred in a single fall loss. That's kind of bullshit, because if that... I do like 2 out of 3 fall matches, but if that's the way it was supposed to happen and he got screwed, they obviously wanted to make sure they got that all the other promotions got that title off Buddy Rogers, because they wanted to make sure they had a champion, because Vince wanted to have wanted to make sure that he had hold of the title, because if people come to his territories to see the NWA champion fighting, then then it would be a problem. And then he'd get like a lot of great fans, and then he would pretty much win the war of the territories. So, but they got screwed on that. Well, obviously, at the other promotions, the Jim Crockett, the Don Owens, the Stu Holtz wanted to get the NWA championship off of Buddy Rogers, so they did just that. Um, the protest caused what appeared to be a certain degree of conflict between Capitol Wrestling and the NWA. In reality, though, McMahon and Mont were simply using the controversy as the excuse they needed to finally break away from the NWA. In the end, after a well-orchestrated argument over the validity, I don't know how to pronounce that word, of Rogers' loss, McMahon and Mont chose not to recognize the title change. Instead, they withdrew Capitol Wrestling from the NWA as planned and formed their own promotion, which they called Worldwide Wrestling Federation, best known by WWF. Now, by just reading that paragraph, that just shows something right there. Obviously, Vince wanted to get away because he wanted to have his own company, but he needed a way to get away from NWA and get away from their relationship. When they did what they did with the Lou Thez and Buddy Rogers match, that did just that, and they had that excuse to finally get away because I guess Vince wanted to get away and make his own company, have his own thing, and that's what happened here. And this just proves how historic and how how important this match between Lou Thez and Buddy Rogers was for the NWA Championship. Because technically, maybe if this match didn't happen, I wouldn't be reading this book right now. I wouldn't be a professional wrestling fan right now. I wouldn't be reading stuff for the WWE right now. We would have no WWE. WWE, by the way, stands for World Wrestling Entertainment because now it's WWE. I wouldn't. There would have been all this great stuff you're going to see from WWE and other wrestling promotions, because technically there'd be no WCW, which stands for World Championship Wrestling. There would be no ECW, which stands for Extreme Championship Wrestling. There'd be no TNA, Impact Wrestling, and TNA stands for Total Nonstop Action. So there wouldn't be any of these other wrestling companies. There'd be no Ring of Honor. There'd be no Lucha Underground. There'd be no NXT, even though NXT is part of WWE, but you get what I'm saying. There would be pretty much wrestling probably, well, maybe it'd still be as big, but there'd be no WWE if this match between Buddy Rogers and Lou Thez didn't take place. So that just shows how important that match was. So let me continue. In April 1963, McMahon and Mont launched the new brand with their hand-picked superstar Buddy Rogers leading the charge as champion. It didn't take much for fans to buy into the new promotion. They loved to hate the flamboyant Rogers and fully expected to spend the next several years furiously jeering him. Pretty much saying, booing him, they're going to sell him his socks and all that stuff. I think that's what that means. But shortly before the new promotion officially kicked off, Rogers' career in life nearly came to an end when a heart attack stopped the superstar in his tracks. The incident, coupled with nearly a quarter-century worth of ring action, was beginning to take its toll on the 42-year-old champion. But as long as the goal was around his waist, the Nature Boy was going to fight, and his first true challenge came in the form of 27-year-old Bruno Sammartino. So at this point, by the way, I think this was Buddy Rogers' first WWE Championship reign. So he had lost the title to Lou Thez, but he came in, since he was the last NWA champion, they just gave him at that time, the WWF Championship. So he was the WWF champion. That's what they're trying to tell us. I didn't really get that, but as I read, that's what happened. So when the WWF started, Buddy Rogers was the champion. And now let's read about Bruno Sammartino. The two superstars met on May 17th, 1963 inside the hollow Madison Square Garden. After just 48 seconds of action, Sammartino used his Italian backbreaker to force Rogers into submission, thus ending the first ever WWE Championship reign. They probably had the match be so short because of Buddy Rogers' heart attack problems, which I do feel bad that ended up happening to him, but, you know, what can you do? They happen. It sucks, though. Nearly 5 years later, despite its brevity, Rogers' time with the gold is looked upon with great fondness. The celebrity, his powerful name, and resume helped win to the young title, coupled with his fearless, trailblazing efforts, are major reasons why today's champions are held in such high esteem. That's the end of the chapter right there. Good chapter. I liked reading about that stuff because there was some stuff that I didn't even know about. So now we know. So now at this point, Capital Wrestling Corporation is broken from NWA, and now it's WWWF, Worldwide Wrestling Federation. And, you know, they had Buddy Rogers be the first champion because he was coming in as champion after beating Lou Thesz. And then he just lost. He had that heart attack, which was sad. And then he just lost it to Bruno Sammartino. So, yeah, that's all the stuff. Something I forgot to mention. I usually try to say when I record these in case I just pre-record them and then get them up later. This is being recorded on September 9th, 2015, and it is 6:13 p.m. So now that I finished reading that, thank you guys for checking out this video. You can click down below to subscribe to my YouTube channel to check out further videos. And I will continue to try to upload these as much as I can. So that's pretty much it, guys. Talk to you later.